Welcome back to the Marion General Hospital pregame show. Now time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, before they take on Kentucky Christian tonight. Taylor comes in riding a 3-game win streak after defeating East-West on Tuesday by a 90-62 final. And Josh, your team now 7-8. One more win will put you right at the 500 mark after a real tough start to the season. What impressed you about your team's win on Tuesday over the Phantoms of East-West?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know that it was our best effort and outing. Good to get a win. Good to play at home. As you mentioned, get a third win in a row and just kind of feel winning. We had some really good plays and for the most part had selfless play. So I was pleased with that. And we'll be excited to get a break after tonight. And I think our guys have just some fatigue overall at this time of year. So does the opponent, though. So not an excuse, but we are proud of what the guys are, where they're at, and how they've grown as a team.
Mason Degenkolb poured in his second straight 20-plus point outing, scoring 21 points on 9 of 14 shooting. In the last 2 games, he's missed just 7 shots, going 20 of 27. And he struggled. Obviously, your team really struggled to shoot the ball in pretty well at the beginning of the year. What's changed for him in these last 2 games?
Yeah, you know what? He just seems very balanced. I always use that phrase with him. You can tell he's picking the right spots and playing purposefully and aggressively. And he's a really gifted scorer. And when he's balanced, especially at the rim, he can really score it as a smaller guard, can get up and finish with some contact, and he's just made really good decisions the last few games. And we'd like for him to be a scorer for us, and he's been a playmaker. So Mason's playing good basketball, and that's good to see.
We mentioned the rebounding before Tuesday. Let's talk about something else on the defensive end. Your team is 5th in the country in blocks, 1st in the Crossroads League, and freshman Jason Hubbard's 3rd individually in the Crossroads League in blocks. You also have 3 of the top 10 individual players in blocks. How different does that make your team defensively, and how can that really help you guys down there on the defensive end with not a lot of size in the front court?
Kind of the name of the game for us is we want to force contested shots, but we want to contest every shot. It's hard to do that if you turn it over. It's hard to do that if you get beat in straight lines, and it's hard to do that if you're not committed to playing team defense. We feel like our guys, for the most part, have owned those areas, so that puts us in between the ball and the basket, and then we're trying to contest every shot. And we got some guys that have good instincts and some length, some long arms. Jason Hubbard, you mentioned, and Jake has good instincts at the rim. We're able to alter some shots. We'd like to keep a lot of those alive and be able to go the other way with it. But it's an interesting stat, not necessarily one that we chase, but that's a good stat. We'd like to get the ball back and go play.
We're talking with head coach Josh Andrews before they take on Kentucky Christian tonight. Let's talk about the Knights. They come in with a 2-17 overall record. They're 0-13 on the road, but they played 5 NCAA Division I teams, including Wofford, which regularly goes to the NCAA tournament. Morehead State's been to the tournament in recent years with Kenneth Farid on their team. They've allowed almost 2,000 points, which is the most in NAIA Division II, but they've also scored the 3rd most points. So how dangerous can they be, and truly is their record really not indicative of how good of a team they are?
Yeah, no, I thought you explained it better than I can, is the record's not indicative of what they're capable of doing. They've got good basketball players. From scout and prep, they play balance, they move the ball well, they catch at triple threat on every catch, and I think they've got instinctive players, a lot of guys who will shoot it quick, and can shoot it in from the perimeter. So I think we've got our hands full on the defensive end, as you mentioned, with their scoring output. And then they're not going to be overwhelmed by anybody. They've played some terrific teams. So very much about, I'm a broken record here, about us playing our basketball. We want to contest every shot they take and limit them to one shot. And we got to play Taylor basketball, take care of the basketball.
Last thing before we turn you loose here and get ready for KCU, we saw on Tuesday night, and I'm sure most people heard them, of the Eastbrook youth basketball players that were here. They sat in those normal seats that the Taylor baseball team does. They were just as rowdy as those guys. The pitch of the voice is a little bit higher than the baseball guys normally have. You also got to play a little basketball with those guys. Also this week after the game on Tuesday, you guys got to spend some time bowling. What was it like to not only give back and spend some time with those youth players, but also take the guys out and enjoy a little fun bowling?
Both are really good. It's so much bigger than basketball. It's nice to be able to use your talent and where you're passionate to go influence younger guys. So we do that at camp in the summer, and when we have opportunities to reach out in the community, and we know several of those young guys and their families. So it's really cool to be able to influence them and have some fun with them. They got to play on the full 94 feet here, which they just ate up, and we got a kick out of. And then just for our staff and our guys to be able to be around each other and it be a little bit loose for a few days is critical. And these guys like each other. They take care of each other. They think highly of each other, and we think that's a recipe for a really strong team here as we go into the second half of the year.
I lied. One more question. Who's the best bowler on the Taylor men's basketball team?
Vince Miranda put up, I think it was a 197. Had several turkeys. He's got a good turkey call, and he's one of those guys where it doesn't matter what you do. He's really good at it. So I think the guys were a little jealous of him, but we had a lot of fun, and that group's fun to be around.
Josh, thanks for the time, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thanks, Rick.
First for the visitors from Kentucky Christian. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore, number 3, Austin Robinson. At guard, a 6'1" freshman, number 10, Kyle Mooney. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 15, Owens Crawford. At forward, a 6'5" sophomore, number 23, Cole Gilliland. And at forward, a 6'7" freshman, number 30, Travis Hooper. The Knights are coached by King Scott, assisted by Nick Harley. And now fans, on your feet for the starting lineup for your Taylor Trojans. That's right, a 5'10" junior from Hamilton, Ohio, number 13, Ryan Robinson. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Tipton, Indiana, number 15, Mason Jennings. At forward, a 6'5" freshman from Miamisburg, Ohio, number 24, Jason Hubbard. At forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Lawrence, Indiana, number 31, James McLeod. And at forward, a 6'7" senior from Wheaton, Illinois, number 25, Jake Hickman. The Trojans are coached by Josh Andrews, assisted by Kobe Dow.
Good evening and welcome here inside Odell Arena on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's last game of 2018 for the Taylor men's basketball team. They take on the Kentucky Christian Knights. Kentucky Christian comes in 2-17 overall, but like we mentioned in our pregame interview with Josh Andrews, they played 5 NCAA Division I teams. They've also played a couple of Division II teams, a couple D3 teams, and also a fairly decent amount of NAIA Division I teams. So their 2-17 mark does not reflect how talented this team can be. Hagelin and Weaver will jump. It's tapped to the backcourt by Jake Hagelin. It's gathered in by James McLeod, and Taylor will have the opening possession as Mason Degenkolb will run the point here on the opening try for the Trojans. They go from left to right and white, and Degenkolb drives to the baseline. To the corner, and Jason Hubbard, a corner 3 ball is long, but right at the rim is James McLeod for the putback. Good offensive find there by the Trojans. Kentucky Christian out-rebounded by 11 caroms a night coming into tonight's action. Here's their opening possession. They go from right to left in black with red numbers and red letters. Owens Crawford dribbles into the far sideline, and Weaver manned up by James McLeod. As Taylor opens up in the man-to-man defense, they bounce to their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, a fadeaway from 15, denied by Degenkolb and rebounded by Jake Hagelin. Robinson comes in averaging 16 points a ball game. Robinson hesitates, goes right into contact, flips it in off the glass, and it counted and get the foul for the dynamic Ryan Robinson. So their 2 leading scorers Degenkolb running the point on the opening possession. Robinson in transition, attacks and drives and flips it up and in. Foul on Gilliland, his first, and the first against Kentucky Christian. Ryan to the line to complete the and one. Yep, right over that front rim. A 5-0 Taylor burst to start this game off. A putback from McLeod and then the three-point play from Robinson. Here's Austin Robinson near sideline for Kentucky Christian. Rising over Hagelin for a jump shot short. Goes off of Hagelin's hand, right back to the man who shot it in Gilliland. Austin Robinson down low. Circus shot from the right side of the glass. He'll flip it up and in with the left hand as he looks for the and one call that will not come. So Kentucky Christian missed their first 2 baskets, but an offensive putback here by their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, gets them on the board. They trail by 3. Taylor from left to right and white. Degenkolb around to Hagelin screen. They'll spin it around the arc to the far sideline and Robinson. Inside the arc, size mismatch with Hagelin. Goes in, fakes and draws 2 defenders, and they both bit in the air. First by Weaver, and then Hagelin put it home with a right hand from the left side of the glass. Back to a 5-point Taylor lead, up 7-2. 2 minutes into this opening half. Browning defended by Robinson, far sideline. Gilliland up top, now to Weaver, guarded by McLeod and the Taylor man-to-man. Mid-post right, Gilliland. Try to back down the bigger Hagelin. Left hand spins to his right, off balance, and he traveled with it as Hagelin got big down on the mid-post right. First turnover for either side tonight, and that'll be one of the mismatches that Taylor can exploit here this evening. Just 9 men dressed tonight here for Kentucky Christian, and they do not have the size down low to match up weight-wise with the big fella Hagelin. He's got a here right block against the smaller Weaver. Out to Robinson. Fakes and drives around the arc. It's spun. Robinson to the far sideline and Degenkolb. Baseline left and Jake Hagelin. Overpowering Weaver, draws 2 defenders to the mid-post. Here's McLeod weaving and shooting, and that will miss off the back iron too strong. And here comes KCU the other way. They're clad in black. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Owens Crawford guarded by Robinson. Around the screen by Gilliland. Back to Gilliland, driving on Hagelin. They body on the block left. Gilliland skips up top to Crawford. A deep 3 from straight on is good for Owens Crawford, who comes in at just 33% from three-point range. But he was 2 of 3 in his last outing, and he cans his first one here. So that ends the long scoring drought for both sides and draws KCU to within a deuce. Screen and roll Robinson down, no-look dish, 15-foot jump shot. McLeod, perfect. That's the sweet spot for James McLeod, and he's got 4 early points. So a good answer by the Trojans after their lead cut down to a single possession. Goes back to 2 possessions at 4 points. Crawford one-hand whips, high right side. Weaver guarded by McLeod in the man-to-man. A. Robinson drives. Hubbard cuts him off to the paint and Gilliland. He'll bang with Hagelin. Hook shot short. Cut in there. Knifing in there is Hubbard. He'll tap the rebound down to Robinson, who accelerates. Middle of the floor, flipping back to McLeod. Not a three-point shooter. Out to Robinson and an offense and an off-ball foul called against, I believe, Austin Robinson of KCU. And it will be his first. He went in there and just moved James McLeod, who was setting the screen after flipping the ball outside the arc. Second foul against Kentucky Christian. Taylor will set up in the half-court offense. They have the ball in a 4-point lead. Degenkolb trying to add to it, and he does with his first 3 ball of the night. Mason comes in 6 of 8 now, 7 of 9 in his last 3 games shooting the 3. And Taylor takes a 7-point lead at 12-7, their largest of the night here in the early going. They're just over 3.5 minutes in. Crawford, ball knocked away by Hubbard, scooped up off the floor by McLeod. Good one-on-one defense, and the help defense there by Taylor. Robinson crossing over to his right hand, tried to hand it off to McLeod, keeps the bounce alive, and he'll go down low to Hagelin. To the right wing inside the arc, a jab step, and he'll slowly crab dribble in. Draws to Hagelin, that slow move in, his right-hand hook just too strong off the glass as he easily beat Weaver down low, which looked to be another easy 2 for Hagelin. Gilliland down low to the cutting Austin Robinson against Ryan Robinson. No relation, and a miss from Austin Robinson as he puts both hands in the air, looking for a foul that will not come. So the Robinsons guard each other. Ryan around a Hagelin screen for Taylor. And there's Austin Robinson for another foul as he tried to get around another screen set by the Trojans. That's the second foul against Kentucky Christian's leading scorer, Austin Robinson, the 6'2 guard out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. He's trying to get an explanation from one of our officials, and it'll bring us to a media timeout. So more likely than not, the leading scorer for Kentucky Christian will have to go to the bench with still plenty of time left in this opening half, 15:42, and we've reached a media timeout. It's Taylor 12, Kentucky Christian 5 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back here in Odell Arena, 15:42 to go in the first half. And the leading scorer for Kentucky Christian, Austin Robinson, has been exiled to the bench after picking up his second personal foul in the last few moments. An inadvertent whistle, and so we'll reset everything there. The new man in for Kentucky Christian is a dead-eye three-point shooter, Connor Maddox, who leads them in three-pointers made. He's from Augusta, Kentucky. The other four starters remain out there for KCU: Browning, Crawford, Gilliland, and Weaver. No changes to the Trojan five. 22 seconds to shoot, as just 2 seconds expired off of the shot clock. Robinson will get it in baseline right for TU. They attack the basket to our right. Out of the hands of Degenkolb, high right side, guarded by Browning. High left side. They now work at mid-post left. Hagelin mismatch again against Weaver. He goes barreling in, kick out to Degenkolb, fakes a three, drives with the right hand, out to an 18-foot jump shot by McLeod, and it's perfect again. James McLeod, 3 of 4 to start. He's our leading scorer in the contest with 6. And Taylor leads by 9, 14-5. And a three on the other, and answered by Weaver from straight away. Weaver, just a 28% three-point shooter, makes just the 6th three-point basket of his career. And the freshman from Kentucky makes it a 6-point Taylor advantage. Trojans the other way, back again to Hagelin. Weaver giving him space. We'll see if Hagelin wants to bulldoze in. Jake dribbled the ball off of his foot as Weaver had backed up, and Hagelin was ready to go in there and use that size to destroy Weaver one more time. Hagelin will exit. They'll bring in C.J. Pena to replace him. Also joining the fun for Taylor, Vincent Miranda and Evan Crow, replacing Robinson and Hubbard. So Degenkolb and McLeod, the only 2 starters to remain out there. Crow, Pena, and Miranda to round out the 5. Crawford runs the point for Kentucky Christian to the far sideline, and Browning right in front of that Taylor bench. Browning veers to his left near the top of the key, back to the far side, and the three-point shooter in Maddox. Off a screen, left-hand dribble, down the lane he goes, around Miranda for a left-hand finish. First points for Maddox in a quick 5-0 burst here for Kentucky Christian has brought them to within 4. 5.5 minutes gone here in the opening half. Pena to the high left side, and Miranda's been hot the last couple of games. Spins back to his right hand around the Pena screen. Ball spun around the arc, near sideline. Crow fakes a three against Weaver. Picks up the bounce out near the volleyball line. The pass goes to Degenkolb, 10 to shoot. He'll step into a three from straight away. That one off the right side of the rim and rebounded by Owens Crawford. He'll gallop on the floor. Quickly the works a pass to the front court in Gilliland. Back to Crawford, back to Gilliland, sets those feet, 3 over Pena, off the left side of the rim, and it's rebounded by Taylor's Mason Degenkolb. He goes accelerating to the front court, now hits the brakes and re-engages. Tiptoeing the baseline, flips to McLeod, fakes and drive. Here comes McLeod to the rack for a left-hand layup. James McLeod with 8 first-half points, 2 better than his season average. And he is white-hot here in this opening half, and Taylor leads by 6. 16-10, just over 6 minutes gone here in half 1. Crawford trying to shimmy away from McLeod, spins in the paint, almost lost the dribble. He travels right in the paint as McLeod is just making life difficult on both ends of the floor for Kentucky Christian. Maddox, the guilty party for the travel, looking for an explanation. And remember, Kentucky Christian doing all of this, they've played the last 2 minutes without their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, who scores 6 points a night. He's also their leading rebounder, tied for most rebounds on the team at 5 an evening. He's got those 2 personals. Crow telegraphed a pass, though not intercepted. Degenkolb baseline, in the air, Miranda around the arc. Open, Evan Crow 3 ball. That one just a hair long. Tapped out of bounds near sideline, off of Cole Gilliland of Kentucky Christian. He vehemently disagrees, but he'll stay here with the home team. A short bench tonight for Kentucky Christian, just 9 players dressed for second-year head coach Akeem Scott's squad. The Trojans are dressing 12. Degenkolb right down the left side lane, right to the cup for a beautiful little up and under left-hand finish. 5 for Degenkolb as he hung in the air with the greatest of ease. And Taylor takes an 8-point advantage at 18-10. Gilliland hounded by Pena out near the volleyball line. Crawford high right side, guarded by Degenkolb around the Gilliland screen. Degenkolb recovers. Crawford steps out. Weaver fakes a 3. He'll pit the brakes again. Here's Browning driving from straight on out to Maddox for a 3 ball, and he hits it from the high right side as Taylor's rotation slow to get to the most volume 3-point shooter for Kentucky Christian in Connor Maddox. They're 3 of 4 from long range. Taylor just 1 of 4 from deep, and it's a 5-point Taylor advantage. Near sideline, Miranda to Pena. Back out to Miranda. Guarded by Browning with a left hand, swimming back to his right. Try to set up the spin move into the paint. Crow fakes a three, drives on Weaver, jump stop right to the rim, and Weaver will smack his shot out of there. 10th block of the season for the freshman Travis Weaver. Degenkolb off for Taylor. Robinson back in. He's the Trojans' leading scorer and 19 points an evening. Hagelin back in as well. He'll spell McLeod. James has been great. 8 points to lead everybody. He's 4 of 5 from the floor with 2 rebounds. Robinson gets the handoff back from Pena after the inbounds pass. Gilliland, here's a parking lot range three from Robinson that's long. Pena taps into the air and then swallows the rebound up. CJ with 9 rebounds in 2 of his last 3 games gets his first one here. Robinson bullets one up top to Miranda. Ball on a screen down the lane. There goes Miranda as he had Maddox confused from the word go. Fancy layup from Vincent Miranda, and Taylor leads by 7 once again. A pretty move from Vincent Miranda. Maddox around the screen, down the lane. Prayer of a shot smacked off the glass by Hagelin. Put back in by Gilliland as he followed the miss. First bucket by Gilliland, and Taylor's lead trimmed down to 5. Ethan List to the scorers table for KCU. And here's Robinson on the high right side. Around the Hagelin screen, now bullets back to his right. Fade away from 5, off the glass, too strong. And Weaver has the one-handed rebound, and he'll bounce it up to Gilliland. 11:20 to go in the opening half. Kentucky Christian at 50% from the floor. Taylor also above 50%. Browning back to where the ball came from. Weaver wants his second three. That one off the back rim, way too strong. Weaver 1 of 2, and Crow with the rebound for Taylor. Robinson accelerates. Ball tapped away from behind, out of bounds. It'll stay here with Taylor. Here comes Ethan List in for Kentucky Christian. Mason Blair not dressing tonight. Same thing for Clifton. And Jerron Lagondi for Kentucky Christian. They only are dressing 9 players tonight. And their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, still on the bench with 2 fouls and no points. Taylor with the ball in a 5-point lead. Hagelin trying to go against Gilliland. Left-hand hook shot, good for another deuce. The Trojans are giving Hagelin plenty of opportunities at the rim with that size mismatch. He's got 4. And Taylor goes back in front by 7, 22-15, with less than 11 to go here in the opening half. Kentucky Christian from right to left in black. Gilliland on the right side circle. Trying to give it off to Browning, who tries to shimmy away from the long CJ Pena. Gilliland, a 3 over Hagelin. Nope, back iron. Almost hit the floor, rebounded by Miranda, and now he's off to the races for Taylor. He waits for help. He'll go right to the rim, hangs in the air. His shot is blocked and tapped out to the far sideline. Crow had it, and then he was bumped by Ethan List on the personal foul. First one against List. 4th one against Kentucky Christian. And Pena will deal it in for TU. 53% from the floor for Taylor, just 1 of 4 from 3-point range. And Pena will get it in front of the Kentucky Christian bench across from us. Robinson, right side circle, turns and faces the basket. Right-hand dribble, off the glass. Nope. Hagelin there for the rebound, taps it back outside to Robinson. Right block, Hagelin, directing traffic. Now he'll try to go against Gilliland, who tried to get big with him. Hagelin goes in, missed the shot with a left-hand hook, tapped into the air, and Owens Crawford pulls down another rebound here for Kentucky Christian, his second. Up the floor, steps into a 3 from the high right side. He bangs that one in right in Ryan Robinson's face. Second 3 of the night for Owens Crawford, who came in, as we mentioned, just 33% from 3 on the season. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews not happy as the 3-ball cuts the Taylor lead down to 4. 22-18, a 30-second Taylor timeout here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Taylor's lead down to 4. It's been as many as 7 here tonight. Pena, Robinson, Crow, Degenkolb, and Hagelin, the Trojan 5. Degenkolb around his screen, takes the pass up top. Jump stop, right-hand floater will spin off the rim. Pena try to tap it off the glass. It's finally hauled in by Gilliland of Kentucky Christian. That's his 3rd rebound. Up the floor to Owens Crawford. Gilliland trails, drives, and he traveled with it as he tried to blow by Jake Hagelin. Gilliland not happy with it. And Jason Hubbard returns. He'll replace his freshman classmate and roommate, CJ Pena. That's turnover number 4 against Kentucky Christian tonight. The Trojans have yet to convert any of those miscues into points. Robinson, their leading scorer for Taylor, still looking for his first scoring of the evening. Actually, he does have one. He has at the end one play, I should say. I apologize. Left sideline, Degenkolb. Mid-post left, Hagelin, who bullets one to the open. Robinson wants his first three of the night and buries it on the nice find from Jake Hagelin. 6 for Robinson. That's Taylor's just their second made three-point basket. And the Trojans once again go back up by 7. That matches their largest lead of the night so far. Maddox between the circles, guarded by the very long Jason Hubbard. Ethan List to Browning with Crow guarding on the switch. 9 to go in the opening half. Kentucky Christian with the ball, trailing by 7. Down the lane goes Gilliland. He's bumped on the take from the high right side. Foul on the floor. Against Taylor, it goes against whom? Ryan Robinson, his first. And the first one against Taylor in the contest. Crow exits for the Trojans. Miranda back in. So he's out there with Hubbard, Robinson, Hageland, and Degenkolb. Miranda the only non-starter. 20 to shoot as the shot clock resets. Crawford gets it in baseline right to Browning. Right back to Crawford. Robinson guarding him on the switch. Crawford picks up the bounce and will go down to the right block in Gilliland. Trying to back down Hagelin, floating up top. This will be List. Behind the back dribble. Couldn't shake. Miranda goes into the paint. And then Hagelin just recycles the shot with that big right hand. Degenkolb lost the ball, got it back. Down the lane he goes, bouncing to Hubbard for a right-hand finish. All set up by the massive block by Jake Hagelin. The Trojans come in 5th in the country in blocks. And there's their second one of the night, and it leads to an easy 2. Taylor with a game-high 9-point lead, 27-18. 8:15 to go here in the opening half. Between the middle is List. Down the lane, almost knocked the ball away to Degenkolb. Browning caught to the paint. Gilliland, 15-foot turnaround jumper, and that's a tough turnaround make that Gilliland made. 4 for him. Ball knocked out of bounds by Browning as he was pestering in the backcourt. He'll retreat to the other end. Kentucky Christian has played the last 7+ minutes without their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, who's been sat on the bench since the 15:42 mark of this first half with 2 fouls. Degenkolb down the lane, spins. Back to Hagelin, who hands it right back to Mason. Wheeling, Hubbard wants a 3 from the left side. That one spun halfway down and out. Jason 0 of 2 from three-point range. The Trojans just 2 of 7 from deep. Owens Crawford trying to shimmy away from Robinson. Goes in around Hubbard. He'll miss it. The ball tapped off the glass, but Taylor can't haul it in. Browning to the work into the corner. And a 3 is missed from the right side. Tapped into the air and ripped out of there by the Trojans. It was List who missed it in the near side corner, who's the best three-point shooter for Kentucky Christian at 48%. Mid-post left, Hagelin, size mismatch against Gilliland. Looking at the area, he'll just bulldoze in and draw a double team. Pass hip to Miranda, who put a man on the floor and then lays it in with a left hand. Vincent Miranda with 2 pretty layups. And Taylor has a 9-point lead at 29-20 with 7:02 to go before halftime as Miranda is putting people on their seats on the parquet floor. Crawford guarded by Degenkolb. Top of the key, left-hand dribble behind the back, pulls up, fade away, free throw line, jump shot clean. From Owens, Crawford, who's carrying the weight for Kentucky Christian with their leading scorer, Robinson on the bench. Crawford's got 8. Degenkolb fakes. He'll go right in for an easy right-hand layup. As he got someone to bite, that was Gilliland biting on the near side. And Taylor once again goes back in front by 9, 31-22 with 6:30 left to go in the first half. Crawford around the screen, right side circle. Directing traffic will be Gilliland. Hands off to List. Trying to shake away from Miranda. As Hagelin put his hand in there, he tripped List and will be called for the foul. A trip against Jake Hagelin, his first, and the second one against Taylor here in this opening half. That brings us to our second and final media timeout of half number 1. 6:20 to go before halftime. It's Taylor 31 and Kentucky Christian 22 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise, At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Still no Austin Robinson for Kentucky Christian. Their leading scorer, just 2 points, but 2 personal fouls. He was just 1 of 11 in their last contest, but he's been on the bench since the 15:42 mark, and we've got 6:20 left to go in the first half. No changes to either 5. Kentucky Christian ball out of the media timeout. Maddox has got to get it in quick, finally gets it in before the 5-second call. Weaver back out there for Kentucky Christian. I apologize, so 1 change to the 5 for KCU. Maddox trying to behind the back dribble away from Hubbard, who blocked the shot, but he'll get him on the forearm for the foul. First on Jason, 3rd one against Taylor here in the half. And they'll put Connor Maddox to the line for 2. Maddox, a really good free throw shooter at 83%. Much improved from his 69% a season ago. And the first one for the 3 shooter, swished. He's got 6 off the bench for Kentucky Christian. KCU has yet to lead tonight. They trimmed their deficit down to 2 at 7-5. It's been Taylor keeping it at a decent margin ever since. Maddox makes both, and the Taylor lead down to 7. The Trojans have Miranda, McLeod, Degenkolb, Pena, and Hubbard. That's a lot of length out there right now for the Trojans, with Hagelin getting a breather. Right side circle, Degenkolb fakes a 3 down the right side of the lane, into the air. Hubbard, a right wing 3-ball on the way, and it's long, but Degenkolb will snatch the rebound out of traffic. He'll dribble on the near sideline, trying to get away from Maddox, who will get called for the reach-in. First one on Maddox, the 5th one against Kentucky Christian. And that'll bring Nicholas Smith to the scorer's table. The only one that is yet to check in tonight for Kentucky Christian is Michael Cooper, their 6'5 senior from Aurora, Colorado. Miranda will get it in baseline right. Will float it up to the free throw line in Pena. And then around the arc, the ball finally finds the hands of Hubbard. Smith guarding Degenkolb. Around a Pena screen goes Mason. He'll fire a contested 3 off the right side of the rim, bouncing off the high glass. And then Hubbard goes crashing in and takes out Nicholas Smith. And Jason gets called for his 2nd personal. A rough one there for Jason to take. He's their best on-ball defender. He'll have to go to the bench with the 2 personals. And Evan Crow comes in to replace him. Cole Gilliland out for Kentucky Christian. There's Michael Cooper making his first appearance of the night for KCU. He's out there with Nicholas Smith. Their starters, Kyle Browning, Owens Crawford, and Travis Weaver. So all 9 men that have dressed have now played here in this first half for Kentucky Christian. Degenkolb shading Browning in the man-to-man. Smith with that afro bouncing on Crow. Wild left-hand layup, no good. Weak side rebound, Vincent Miranda. And now he's off to the races for Taylor. Miranda pitching back to the trailing Pena. A 3. Front rim short. McLeod tried to tap it away, and it just was off of his fingertips. Taylor just 2 of 10 from 3-point range. Here's Owens Crawford the other way for KCU, spinning away. Ball knocked away by Pena and picked up off the floor by Crow. A 2-on-2, and then Crow hits the brakes and waits for reinforcements. Degenkolb setting up. Browning will blow right in. Draws help. Out to the wing, and McLeod will pass up a contested 2. All the way to the far corner, and Degenkolb around a Pena screen. Stops, hangs, 8-foot jump shot long, and there's Weaver pulling in the miss. Degenkolb just 3 of 7 from the floor tonight to start after missing just 7 shots in his last 2 games. Still a 7-point Taylor lead. Crawford has been good off the bench. This has been good starting, I should say, for Kentucky Christian. Weaver around the Smith screen, gives it right back to Smith with Crow guarding him, 10 to shoot. Browning fakes a 3, got Degenkolb in the air, pulls up just shy of the free throw line. That was an air ball pulled off the floor by Pena. He saves as he jumps out of bounds to Miranda. Near side of the floor comes Vincent. No look, bounce pass to the right block. Outside it, bouncing from Pena to Degenkolb. Draws the mismatch, whips it up top all night to shoot C.J. Pena, and he hits it from the right wing. 3-ball, C.J. Pena, who is at 47% from deep in his last 4 outings, and Taylor takes their largest lead of the night. They're up by 10, 34-24. McLeod guards Crawford, that left arm extended straight out. Smith to the left, knocked it away by his own teammate Weaver, who gathers it in. Off-target pass, Smith, a no-look bounce pass to the corner from around his back to Cooper. 8 to shoot for KCU. That pass ripped out of the air and intercepted by Miranda. Left side of the floor, he goes right at Weaver, hangs, and Weaver gets his second block as he smacks it out of there. Crawford cherry picking, goes back for an easy uncontested right-hand layup. Crawford, our first player in double figures, and the Trojans will take a full timeout, seeing their lead go down to 8, 34-26 here with 3:21 to go here in the opening half. We say welcome to all you folks watching before the Christmas holiday here on the Trojan Sports Network. Special welcome to Kendall Bradbury and her family out there in Colorado. I know they moved. It's no longer Highlands Ranch, but somewhere out there in the beautiful state of Colorado. We welcome them. I'm sure they're very glad to have Kendall home. Robinson crossing over to his right hand, right pass Weaver. Little right hand scoop is good as he comes in off the bench for a deuce. 8 for Ryan Robinson, and Taylor quickly reestablishes that 10-point lead. Ryan out there with Miranda, Crow, McLeod, and Pena. Crawford between the circles, trying to cross over to his left hand, hesitates. Got it 2, draws 3 defenders. He'll kick it out to Browning up top, outside the arc. Back to Crawford with 14 to shoot. Smith will bulldoze right into Miranda, and that's an easy charge as Smith put that shoulder down and barreled over Vincent Miranda. First one against Smith, 6-1 against Kentucky Christian in the opening half. And Degenkolb and Hagelin come back in for Taylor, replacing Pena and Miranda. .248 to go in the opening half. Taylor with the ball and a game-high tying 10-point advantage. Robinson, right side high, fakes a 3, draws Weaver. To the mid-post right, Hagelin against Cooper. Out to Robinson, open, 3-ball. Short off the front rim. McLeod goes skying in, but can't get the rebound away from Nicholas Smith. Smith, guarded by Crow. Back to the trailing Owens Crawford, who's guarded by McLeod in the Taylor man-to-man. 10-point Taylor lead. Smith to the left hand, into the paint, free throw line, pivoting, out to Cooper. A 3 over Hagelin. Rainbows off target. And Degenkolb has the rebound. He'll go accelerating up the floor, bulleting one to the corner, and Crow, whose 3 is perfect. Triple for Evan Crow. Nice transition offense there by the Trojans. They take a game-high 13-point lead, 39-26, with just shy of 2 minutes to go before halftime. Crawford around a screen, got to the left elbow, back out to Cooper. Driving on the shoulder, Degenkolb, and they get Mason for the block as he was falling over as he and Cooper both went spilling down to the floor. First on Mason, 5th one against Taylor in the first half. And with 1:52 to go in our opening stanza, Michael Cooper will get it in baseline left for Kentucky Christian with 20 to shoot. They trail by 13. Kentucky Christian is yet to lead tonight. Weaver takes the inbounds pass and quickly deals it up top to Nicholas Smith. Guarded by Crow, right-hand dribble down to the right side of the lane. Right sideline, a rainbow 3 from Cooper. Hits the glass and missed again. Cooper 0 of 2, and it's rebounded by James McLeod of Taylor. The Trojans quickly rushing up the floor. Degenkolb skipping. Crow wants to make his second 3 in a row. That one off target. It's tapped out to Crow, who re-engages. He hesitates and lays it in. Was there a foul or a travel? It's a foul, and it's 5 in a row for Evan Crow, and he'll go to the line for a chance at the and one. Foul on Michael Cooper. McLeod exits. He's replaced by Pena. 90 seconds left. Crow to complete the and one. Yep, perfect. And Evan with 6 in a row. And Taylor leads by a 42-26 margin. 90 seconds left to go in the first half. Browning around a Smith screen, moving screen called on Smith. His second. And the 7th one against Kentucky Christian. That puts Taylor in the 1-and-1 penalty. Or 1-and-1 bonus, I should say. Smith exits to the bench. Ethan List comes back in to replace him. Remember, just 9 players dressing tonight for Kentucky Christian, and their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, has been on the bench since the 15:42 mark. So he'll sit for the final 15:42. Crow trying to go 8 in a row. That one 3 from straight on is a hair long. And Cooper's there for the rebound for Kentucky Christian. The Trojans shooting just 4 of 15 from downtown. Kentucky Christian 4 of 10. Crawford goes in, kept the ball away, out to Cooper as Hagelin recovers. Cooper drives, ball knocked out of his hands, and they get Crow for the reach-in as he got more forearm of Michael Cooper than the ball. First one on Crow, the 6th one against Taylor in the half. And here's Cooper to the line for 2. These will be his first free throw attempts of the season for the Aurora, Colorado native. And he'll bang that one in off the back of the rim. This to make it a 14-point Taylor advantage. And Cooper will miss that one short, and Crow is there for the rebound for Taylor. He's out there with Robinson, Hagelin, Degenkolb, and Pena. Browning guards Robinson. Now Cooper switches around down the lane. Robinson throws it up off miss, tapped away, and rebounded by List of Kentucky Christian. A 3-on-2 breakout coming. List going to go end-to-end. He's met at the rim by Crow and Degenkolb, and it goes off of Mason's knees and will stay here with Kentucky Christian. So Taylor trying to add to that block total. That might be their 3rd one of the night as both Evan and Mason elevated and denied an easy look there for List. 24 to shoot, 37.5 seconds to go in the first half. Crawford trying to back down the smaller Degenkolb. Hedging in his Pena makes him pick up the ball. Weaver in the right side corner. Back down to Crawford, goes up. Hagelin met him at the rim. The shot was missed. And they'll get Jake for the foul underneath the hoop, and Crawford will go to the line for 2. It looked like Jake had gone straight up into the air. That'll be Jake's 2nd. And the 7th one against Taylor in the first half. So now Jake and Hubbard, Hagelin and Hubbard are the 2 Trojans with 2 fouls. First of the 2-shot trip for Crawford. And he swishes the first one. He's got 11 off the bench, 11 for Kentucky Christian, I should say. And Hagelin exits, McLeod back in to spell him. Crawford, a 72% free throw shooter. Comes in averaging 9 points per game. And he makes both, and he's got a first half 12. Cuts that Taylor lead down to 13 at 42-29. Taylor can hold for the final shot with 21 seconds left in the first half, and the shot clock turned off. The heels of Ryan Robinson in the center jump circle, that purple Trojan head, with the game clock ticking down to 10 and now 9. Everybody waiting, and now Robinson will attack. Right side screen, Pena. Robinson takes it with 5, with 4, with 3. He'll uncork a deep 3 before the horn. Missed. It'll go. Actually, it goes in. I apologize. It looked like it was going to go off, and then it caught the back of the rim, and Ryan Robinson gets the home court bounce and then drops that one in for a second 3 ball of the night. I should know better than to go against Ryan Robinson here on the home floor. He gets the home court bounce. He finishes with a first half 11. And Taylor goes into the halftime locker room leading by 16, 45-29 here over Kentucky Christian on the Trojan Sports Network. We're back with the BSN Sports Halftime Report after this commercial break.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on Scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You got to have the music that you listeners listen to.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Back here inside Odell Arena, Taylor leading at the break by a game-high tying 16 points. They lead 45-29. The Trojans shot 46% from the floor in that first half. They were just 5 of 16 from 3 for 31%. And they made both of their free throw tries in that first half. Kentucky Christian, meanwhile, they started off shooting the ball really, really well. They cooled off as the half wore on. They finished at 39% from the floor in the first half, just 4 of 10 from 3. And they were 5 of 6 from the line. The big story, though, in that opening half was that Kentucky Christian's leading scorer, Austin Robinson, who averages 16 points a game. He's also their best three-point shooter by percentage, their best free throw shooter by percentage, and tied for the most rebounds on the team. He played a whole 4 minutes and 17 seconds in that first half because he picked up 2 fouls and had to exit with 42 remaining in the first half of play. Leading them in scoring in the first half for Kentucky Christian was Owens Crawford with 12 points. The starting guard was 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and 2 of 2 from the line. Connor Maddox came off the bench to score 7 points for Kentucky Christian. Cole Gilliland had 4. Travis Weaver had 3. Austin Robinson, as we mentioned, had the 2 points before he had to take a seat on the bench for the final 43, with those 2 personal fouls. Michael Cooper had 1 point off the bench, playing but not scoring in the first half. Kyle Browning, who started, Nicholas Smith, and Ethan List, who both came off the bench. Other numbers of note: Kyle Browning and Owens Crawford both played all 20 minutes in that first half for KCU. For the Trojans, they had one man in double figures. It was Ryan Robinson, his three-point basket that hit every part of the rim and the glass. I mistakenly said it was going to miss. I should have known better. Ryan gets it to go. He's got 11 to lead Taylor in the first half. James McLeod had 8 points early on. He played a really nice first half. 8 points on 4 of 5 shooting for James. Mason Degenkolb had 7 points for Taylor. Evan Crow had 6 points all in a row off the Taylor bench. Jake Hagel in 4. Same thing for Vincent Miranda in a reserve role. CJ Pena had 3 also off the bench. And Jason Hubbard had 2 points, but he also only played 9 minutes and 8 seconds of the first half because he also had to deal with some foul trouble. He had 2 in the first half. Taylor out-rebounded Kentucky Christian by 3 in the first 20 minutes, 21-18, including 8-4 on the offensive glass. And Taylor really used their size to their advantage in the first half. They outscored Kentucky Christian in the paint 22-8. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second half here from Odell Arena. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and this is Taylor Basketball here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student-athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student-athletes.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Starters that started the game will start this second half, which means Austin Robinson back on the floor for Kentucky Christian after playing just 4 minutes and 17 seconds of the first half after picking up those 2 personal fouls. He's out there with Weaver, Browning, Crawford, and Gilliland. Crawford to Weaver. Hit a 3 in the opening half. Tries to take McLeod off the bounce outside to Gilliland. Opening possession, second half. Kentucky Christian attacks the basket to our right in black. Shot clock down to 8. Browning trying to find help. Off the pass, Gilliland will miss the shot, and Robinson fell down to the floor and gets back up looking for a foul. Taylor trying to take advantage. Here's a nice find from Degenkolb to the cutting McLeod on the baseline. James McLeod in double figures with 10. Having a fine contest. And James 5 of 6 from the floor, and Taylor leads 47-29 a minute into this opening half, and answering is a fadeaway jumper on the other end by Owens Crawford. He's got a team high 14 and a game high 14 for the Kentucky Christian Knights. Hegeland will float it high right side to Robinson. Around the left side, Hegeland screen will pick up the bounce. Near sideline, Degenkolb guarded by Austin Robinson. To the left block, here goes Hegeland, an easy move and a dish. McLeod, a rainbow two, that's short from the right corner. Just the second miss from the floor for James McLeod tonight. Here comes Austin Robinson for KCU. Hubbard defends, Robinson picks it up, pivoting, looking for help, still looking for help, and it will find Weaver on the near side arc. Will bounce to the corner in the baseline, and Crawford trying to back down the smaller Robinson, turns and fires up a fadeaway jumper from 18. And Owens Crawford has hit some tough buckets tonight. He's got 16 points. He has only missed one shot from the field. He's 6 of 7. And he has got a good look and stroke going tonight here for KCU. They've cut the lead, their deficit, I should say, down to 14. Hegeland, 8 feet away, measuring. One dribble draws the eyes of everybody. Out to Hubbard, a 3-ball. That one long, comes out to the near side, and it's rebounded by Austin Robinson of KCU. Hubbard 0 of 3 from long range. Browning drives on Robinson, left side wing. Back out to Austin Robinson, trying to take Degenkolb off the bounce. Back out to Browning for an open look at 3, and he hits it. Browning, a 31% three-point shooter. He hits his first one here. That's his first points of the night on just his second shot. And Taylor saw their lead grow to 18. It was the largest of the night, and since then it's been all KCU. They're on a 7-0 burst. Driving as Degenkolb wraps it down low beautifully to Hegeland as Degenkolb picks up his 6th assist, and Hegeland's got 6 points. Taylor back in front by 13. A good answer there on the other end. 49-36, the Taylor advantage. Here's Crawford, who's been hot here to start this second half, trying to bully ball against Degenkolb. Fades away, fires a rainmaker again, and Owens Crawford is throwing up anything and everything, and it's finding the bottom of the net. 18 for Owens Crawford. He's got 6 so far, and it brings KCU back to within 11. Hegeland goes right around the smaller Browning, but his shot was blocked away by Weaver. KCU quickly to the floor. Browning trying to drive in, goes into contact. They get McLeod for the foul, and Browning lays it in for an easy deuce in transition. So Browning with 5. That's the foul on James McLeod, his first. And Taylor's head coach Josh Andrews wants a timeout. He'll get it. Taylor has been outscored 11-4 here in the second half. They take a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center.
Kentucky Christian has outscored Taylor 11-4 to start this second half. They've made 5 of their 6 shots so far. Taylor just 1 of 4, and Browning trying to go for 6 in a row here. Got fouled on the take, banked it in, and he does complete the and one by swishing home the free throw. So it's now a 12-4 start here for Kentucky Christian. They saw their deficit climb to as big as 18. They've trimmed it now down to 8 at 49-41. Robinson down the lane. Inside the arc, McLeod quickly deals it out to Degenkolb, drives right around Austin Robinson. His shot was blocked, and it's intercepted by Gilliland. Up the floor, Hubbard will back tap it away, but right to Browning. He wants his 9th straight point, and he misses a 3-point shot short. That would have been a big one for KC. Would have drawn them to within 5. Robinson, no-look dish, Degenkolb, dribble, step to his left, 3-ball on the way and short. Hubbard trying to sky in and could not get the rebound. Mason has missed 3 straight threes. Crawford, who's been cooking here in the second half. Hubbard will defend him in the man-to-man. Around the Gilliland screen, top. Crawford trying to get free from the long Jason Hubbard. Bulleting one out to Weaver. Near sideline, Browning. He'll throw that one into the next county as Austin Robinson. That one was way away from Austin Robinson of KCU. Hegeland out. C.J. Pena back in for TU. Taylor's been outscored 12-4 here in the second half. And they've hit just 1 field goal. Pena to the high right side, McLeod, who hands off to Degenkolb. Just over 4 minutes in, open Robinson all night 3-ball. That one just off the right side of the rim. And Ryan just 2 of 5 from deep. Here's Austin Robinson running the point up to Browning. He'll travel with that one as Robinson's pass too far in front, and Browning shuffled those feet. Turnover number 10 tonight for Kentucky Christian. The good news for Taylor, they've turned it over just once after turning it over a season high after a season-high totaling times of 17 in Tuesday's win over East-West. But they've seen their 18-point lead trimmed down to 8 at 49-41, with 15:49 remaining here in the second half on the Trojans Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Taylor just 2 of 8 from the floor to start this second half, with 15:49 remaining in our second stanza. Kentucky Christian doing much better. They're 5 of 7 from the floor, and again, they've outscored Taylor 12-4 to start the second half off. Taylor with the ball going from right to left. They have an 8-point lead. Degenkolb guarded by Austin Robinson, trying to drive to his left, got right around Robinson with relative ease, and Mason lays it in for a deuce. 9 for Mason Degenkolb. He had a simple rip-through move and got easily around Austin Robinson. Taylor's lead back to 10, 51-41. Browning, high left side, guarded by Ryan Robinson of Taylor. Crawford floating it down low, trying to get it down to Gilliland. Pena almost knocked it away. They'll save it into Browning, baseline left. Weaver drives on McLeod with 10 to shoot, wrapping one around to Owens. Crawford will fade away, and he'll miss the shot as Robinson had it. He and Austin Robinson go for it, and they'll say it goes off of Taylor's Ryan Robinson and stays here with Kentucky Christian. Taylor head coach Josh Andrews not happy. Thought that ball should have gone the other way. Just the second miss from the floor tonight by Owens Crawford. And they'll get it into Weaver over McLeod. That one missed badly off the left side. A good challenge by James McLeod. Missed off the left side of the rim. Robinson running the point. He'll just bulldoze in behind the back dribble. Up top, Pena fakes the three. He'll drive right on Weaver. Down the right side of the lane. And one for C.J. Pena as Weaver just opened the gate and let Pena waltz right on through. Evan Krob in for the first time of the second half to replace McLeod. We get to see Vincent Miranda for the first time as well for the Taylor Trojans. First free throws for CJ. He's attempted just 1 free throw in the last 4 games coming in. And he will miss that one short. It barely grazed the front of the rim. CJ now 6 of 12 from the line here in his freshman campaign. Hubbard guards Owens Crawford at the top. He'll flip it outside to Weaver. A head fake from 3 off to Austin Robinson. A long 2 from straightaway. That one short off the near side rim. And it's hauled in by Taylor's Mason Degenkolb. He'll gallop on the near side, runs around a Pena right side screen. Robinson there to defend. He'll let Degenkolb get right to the cup, who floats it in with a right hand through contact. 11 for Mason Degenkolb, and Taylor, after seeing their lead cut down to single digits, goes back in front. They're ahead 14, 55-41. Just about 5.5 to go here in half 2. Weaver trying to shake away from Crow. Instead, he passes to the high left side, and Browning around Miranda goes in, fumbled with it, threw it off the glass wildly, and Hubbard is there for the rebound for Taylor. Miranda bulleting one to the right sideline, and Degenkolb waits and tries to take Browning to the rack. Wraps a baseline pass that was tipped away and intercepted by Weaver. Up the floor, it works to Gilliland. Pena comes in and knifes it away, and he'll save it back into the floor, and Vincent Miranda. He'll get away from the back tap of Crawford. He weaves away from Austin Robinson. Miranda, no-look dish. Down low to Hubbard, outside to Crow, and Pena fakes. He shimmies. No-look dish to Hubbard to the rack. He misses it. He'll get his own miss and put it in with the left hand. That ball was hot, moving from everybody on the floor. And Taylor quickly accelerates. They are on an 8-0 jaunt, and they've pushed the lead back to 16. With 13:25 remaining in regulation. Browning around a screen. Crow switches to the free throw line, and Gilliland. He'll bang with Pena, turns a right-hand hook, too strong, and Pena leaps into the air and hauls the miss out of the sky. Third rebound for Claudio Pena Jr. He'll set the left side screen from Miranda, out to Degenkolb. Now Pena, he's just going to bulldoze Browning, who draws him in with the charge. Browning at 6'1", Pena at 6'6", a definite mismatch. And Pena just got a little too energized and barreled through the smaller Browning. Good job by Browning, the freshman from West Virginia, to take the charge. Robinson back in. He replaces Degenkolb for Taylor. He's out there with Hubbard, Crow, Pena, and Miranda. It's Crawford, Weaver, Browning, Gilliland, and Austin Robinson, the 5 for Kentucky Christian. Here's Browning, between the legs bounce, now off to Austin Robinson. Left-hand dribble, spins, fades away from 8. That one an air ball and easily rebounded by Hubbard. Robinson looking for help. Here's Ryan Robinson, attacking, shimmying, scooping, scoring, and getting the foul. First second half bucket for Ryan Robinson. That little slow play hesitation from the free throw line, and then he mashes on the accelerator and gets to the cup. After seeing their lead trimmed down to 49-41 and the media timeout at 15:49, Taylor on a 10-0 run right now over the last 3+ minutes. They now make it 11-0 as Robinson completes the and one. He's got 14 to lead Taylor, one of 3 Trojans in double-figure scoring. Taylor up 60-41. Crawford down the lane goes up. His shot is recycled by Jason Hubbard, and then Robinson will put it in with a right hand as the hunting Jason Hubbard tried to go get his second block. He erased that shot like a bad test score. Here's Hubbard in the corner. Fakes, trying to go baseline left. Crawford cuts him off. Hubbard picks up the bounce. Mid-post left. Pena, easy turnaround over the smaller Browning with a right-hand hook. 7 for CJ, 4 in the second half. And Taylor goes back in front by 19, tying their largest lead of the night. Crawford, a dead-on 3. Nope, off the right side of the rim. Ripped out of there over everybody is Weaver. But when he came back down to the earth, he stepped out of bounds. Here's Connor Maddox, who's taken the most three-point shots this season for Kentucky Christian. He replaces their leading scorer, Austin Robinson, who's got just 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. He played just over 4 minutes in that first half because of foul trouble. Ryan Robinson around the high middle screen from Crow. Miranda, one back to Crow, wants his 3rd 3 of the night and gets it from the left wing. Making his 2nd triple for Crow. He's got 9. He's knocking on the door of being the 4th Trojan in double figures, and for the first time tonight, Taylor has pushed their lead over 20. But answering the other end is Weaver to bring it back down below 20. Weaver makes his 2nd 3 ball, and Taylor's lead back down to 19 as the 2 teams trade triples. Robinson bouncing left side circle. Pena turns and faces the basket. Now back outside the arc to Robinson. Up top, Crow for his 3rd 3 of the night. Yeah, right through the middle for Evan Crow. Back-to-back triples for Crow. He's the 4th Trojan in double figures. And then Pena lets out a scream to the ceiling. Taylor up by a game-high 22 with 11 minutes to go. Maddox wants to answer with a 3, and it's raining 3s inside Odell Arena as the 2 teams have combined to hit 4 straight 3 balls. Crow with 2, Weaver, and now Maddox with the 3 balls for KCU. The Taylor lead at 19. Crow will take it to the rack on Weaver. Jump stops, draws a double team. Pivoting, looking for help, will muscle in. Shot was blocked, and Crow gets it back. Pena crossing over. Crow wants his 2nd 3 ball, and he gets it, and it's 3 in a row from Evan Crow. Evan on a personal 9-0 onslaught. He's got 15 points. The 2 teams have traded 5 straight 3 balls. And it's back to a 21-point Taylor lead with 10:20 to go in the second half. 71-49, the Taylor advantage. Browning shimming outside to Weaver. He wants to make it 6 threes in a row, and that one will be missed long off the back iron. Robinson to the trailing Crow. He's feeling it. 4th 3 in the row. Just missed as Hubbard will try to get it, and they call the offensive foul on Jason Hubbard. And that's a foul just because Jason's taller and more athletic and can jump higher than Owens Crawford. They'll get Hubbard for being more physical. It's his 3rd personal, and he'll have to exit in place of James McLeod. Well, Evan Crow's got a new season high of 15. He's also got a new season high in 3-pointers made with 4. In case you're running, his career high is 7. Just past halfway home here in the second half. Taylor leading by 22. Ethan List back in for Kentucky Christian. He's guarded by McLeod up top. Gilliland turns, 20-foot jumper. That one barely got to the rim, and it's ripped off the floor by McLeod of Taylor. Right sideline to Robinson. Hits the brakes. He's guarded by Browning. Points where he wants McLeod to set the screen. He's not going to need it. He'll give it to Pena in the corner. Fakes and moves to his left. Rainbow three is short. Hits the floor and is rebounded by Robinson. He'll fire from three, and that one goes off the back rim. Tried to knife his way in there. It's loose on the floor. Robinson comes away with it. No look dish. Pena layup through contact. Fancy no-look dish from the magician Ryan Robinson. And Taylor's taking their largest lead of the night. They're up 73-49 with 9 to go in the second half. Crawford, right side circle, trying to get away from Miranda, outside to Browning, back up to Owens. Crawford, then Pena will poke it away, but it'll call him for the reach in from behind as he covers his hands in his face like a shocked child that's being scolded by their parents. But he's okay. Second one against CJ tonight. Fourth one against Taylor in the second half. Covered his hands over his mouth, kind of like when you see a kid get caught for doing something. That's exactly what he looked like. Pass up top. Crawford, Maddox will let this one bounce to the backcourt. And Degenkolb will skip back into a defensive position. Maddox goes in, draws three defenders, lost the ball, and now Robinson is out on the gate on a break. Running with Hagelin, fakes and shimmies and scoops and scores. 16 for the whirling Ryan Robinson. Taylor up 75-49. Caught in trouble, low pass. Robinson's going to scoop it up. And now he's going to try to go in right on there, and he's fouled on the arm by Cole Gilliland. A track meet is broken out here inside the parquet floor of Odell Arena. And Ryan will go to the line for two with 8:42 to go second half. Ryan 2 of 2 tonight. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Not bad. First one good. So give him 17. Taylor saw their lead cut down to 8 at 49-41. He makes both does Ryan. He's got 18 to lead the game. Since then, Taylor has outscored Kentucky Christian 28-8. Browning drives, throws it off the glass, missed, tapped up and not in. And then finally Hagelin has the rebound after List missed the putback. List a pogo stick down there, almost tapped it up and in. Here's Robinson accelerating down the lane, shimmying, scooping, and Ryan Robinson has got 20, and he is just blistering Kentucky Christian tonight. Trojans with their biggest lead at 30. Maddox throws one wildly, and Hagelin has another rebound, and now here comes Ryan Robinson, a 3-on-2. Crow in transition all night to shoot, and that one short off the near side rim and ripped out of there by Gilliland. Taylor up by 30, 79-49. List drives baseline right through Hagelin, got underneath the hoop, and he missed a soft shot at the rim. Degenkolb has his 8th rebound to go with 11 points and 7 assists. The 7 dimes, a new career high for the former All-American, who's been the Trojans' top assist man this season, along with Robinson. Here's Degenkolb. Shimmy shakes to the left, right through contact, right-hand layup. He almost got it to go off the glass. Taylor up by 30. They saw their lead trimmed down to 8. They're on a 30-8 run right now. Media timeout. 7:31 to go second half. Taylor up by 30, 79-49 here on the Trojan Sports Network. Over the last 7 minutes and math on the fly is fun. 18 seconds. So over the last 7:18, Taylor has outscored Kentucky Christian 30-8. They have a chance to add to it here with Mason Degenkolb at the line for 2, and he makes the first. The foul is on Cole Gilliland. It's his 3rd and the 4th against Kentucky Christian. Mason was 17 points, 10 here in the second half, and now 11 in the second half as he knocks in the second freebie. Taylor up 81-49 against the team, and Kentucky Christian has given up the most points in NAIA Division II this year, but they have played a brutal, brutal schedule with 5 NCAA Division I teams, some Division II teams, some Division III teams as well, and a couple of NAIA Division I teams. Both Taylor and Kentucky Christian NAIA Division II teams for the next couple of years before everyone goes back to one division. Smith drives to 6. McLeod cuts him off underneath the hoop. Pass low on the floor. Miranda dives short into the hands of Gilliland. Around a jumping McLeod for a 2. Gilliland hung in the air and banked it off the glass as James McLeod did everything to deny that easy look. Right sideline, Hubbard trying to get going from 3. Fakes and drives to the baseline. Reverse layup off the high glass and nothing else, and easily rebounded by Owens Crawford of Kentucky Christian. Hubbard trying to cut him off. Out to the trailing Gilliland from an open 3 right side, halfway down and out. Hubbard had it in his hands, knocked away. List will dribble it out of bounds. Balseo's tapped away by Hubbard, and it stays here with Kentucky Christian. .30 Taylor lead. They'll bounce it into Browning with a fresh shot clock. Mid-post right, Gilliland has not used his dribble yet. He'll fire over Hegeland and swish it home. 8 for Cole Gilliland. Last 4 in a row, all from him for Kentucky Christian. And the Taylor lead 81-53 with 6:17 to go here in the second half. Hegeland out to Degenkolb, who's got a career-high 7 assists tonight. Left-hand bounce. Picks up the dribble, go mid-post right, Hegeland. Help comes, he'll throw one high. Miranda jumps into the air and will work it around the arc. 9 to shoot. Degenkolb fakes and drives with 7. He'll fade away from 15 in the corner, halfway down. Hubbard skies. He'll be called for the over the back as he tried to snatch that rebound away with his right hand. 4th one on Jason tonight. And the last 2 have been tough when you're Jason just jumping high with that 7-foot wingspan. 5:53 to go, second half. Taylor on a blistering run here. At one point, a 30-8 run and a 32-8 run to turn an 8-point lead into 30+. Smith drives and kicks, high left side, Browning, with Degenkolb trying to force him to his right hand. List up top, trying to shimmy away from Miranda. 7 to shoot. Smith with McLeod defending, spinning, got into the air. His pass is intercepted by Hubbard. He and Hegeland will run. Hubbard knocked away, gets it back and lays it in with the left hand. 6 for Jason Hubbard as that ball got poked away, and he got it right back. Browning trying to answer, he missed it. And a push on the other end by Kentucky Christian's Nicholas Smith. Michael Cooper back in for Kentucky Christian, replacing Smith, who just picked up his 3rd personal. Austin Robinson, their leading scorer, has been a non-factor tonight. 2 of 6 from the floor for 4 points. He played just 4 minutes plus in that first half, and he's on the bench right now. A tough 2-game stretch here for Austin Robinson for Kentucky Christian, coming off of a 1 for 11 and a season-low 2 points in their loss to Ashland University on Wednesday. A lob from Miranda intended for Hubbard. He hit the brakes, and then Miranda saw the ball sail out of bounds. A miscommunication between the sophomore Miranda and the freshman Hubbard. C.J. Pena in for TU. He replaces Hegeland. That's just the 4th turnover tonight by the Trojans. They had just 1 at halftime. KCU's turned it over 14 times. Neither team's really done much off the turnover, but it's taken a lot of opportunities away for the visitors. List from straight away, down the lane, left side, right-hand shot. They'll wave it off as he was fouled on the floor, reaching, I think, against C.J. Pena of Taylor. Nope, on Degenkolb, that's Mason's 2nd. Number 6 against Taylor. 4:47 to go, second half. Kentucky Christian with the ball. They trail by 30. They trimmed it to 8 at 49-41. Then Taylor hit the accelerator, outscoring them 30-8 over the next few minutes to put this game in a big difference. Gilliland slowly backing in, whipping it up top. List, Hubbard lost him, and List will miss the 3. And Pena rips down a rebound with that right hand. List 0 of 3 from 3-point range. CJ now with 4 rebounds. had a good night shooting the ball. 9 points for CJ. Out to Degenkolb. Fakes the three, guarded by Gilliland. Runs him around the Pena screen, now back to CJ in front of the Taylor bench. Fakes in the whip it around the arc to the Trojans. To the corner and McLeod. Pena calls for it, gets it, hands it back off to McLeod with 8. He'll drive right to the rim, but his right-hand shot will just dance off. Just the third missed shot by James McLeod tonight. He's one of 4 Taylor players in double figures. He's got 10. Robinson 20, Degenkolb 13, and Crow 15. Browning to the cutting list on the baseline over Degenkolb and off the glass for 2. A nice off-ball cut by Ethan List. First bucket. 83-55, the Taylor advantage with 3:48 to go here in the second half. Degenkolb high right side, fakes, he drives right around Gilliland, around Browning, and they'll get Mason for the charge as Browning had his heels just outside that restricted area. Third one on Mason Degenkolb. That's the 7th one against Taylor. And Evan Crow comes back in to replace the former Crossroads League Freshman of the Year and an All-American Mason Degenkolb. Mason, one of 4 Taylor players to score over 1,000 points on the roster. It's him, Evan Crow, Jake Hageland, and Ryan Robinson. Crow the only one on the floor right now for TU. As Browning holds high left side, bulleting one down to List. To the corner, and Cooper can't get a 3 off before Pena comes to challenge. Pass behind Browning, he'll just save it before it goes across the timeline. Near side of the floor to Gilliland. Into the corner, Crawford shoots and fades away and hits a rainbow 3 from the corner. After missing 2 threes in a row, Owens Crawford hits one here. He's got 21 points. That ties his season high, one off of his career high of 22. He's been the best player tonight for Kentucky Christian. Browning almost stole it away from Miranda. Vincent gets it back with 3 to go in the second half. He's double-teamed near side, leaps into the air, down to Pena, hesitating, goes into contact and lays it in with the right hand. And CJ, the 5th player in double figures for Taylor. CJ Pena with 11. That ties his career high. And the Trojans take a full timeout. And with 2:54 to go second half, they lead 85-58 over Kentucky Christian here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor a much better shooting half here. They're at 48 or 49% for the game. Kentucky Christian is at 39%. Both teams have shot the ball better from the floor. But that big 32 or 30-8 run by the Trojans have put this thing out of reach after seeing their lead trimmed down to 8. Crawford out of the timeout, back to Cooper near side, a little shimmy shake and drive right around Pena, and he cannot get the roll on a right-hand finger roll. CJ with 11 points. He just pulled down his 5th board. Up to Miranda, pitching back to the trailing Keegan Owen, who's out there along with Luke Huffer. And now here come Bailey, Hester, and Cade Newbert for the Trojans. And again, for the 3rd game in a row, Taylor will be able to finish the game with 5 freshmen on the floor. 3rd game in a row that Owen, Huffer, Hester, and Newbert will all close the game for the Trojans with 2:30 to go here, second half. Newbert, near side Owen, takes the right side Newbert screen. Owen denied a good look at 3. Hester to the high right side, fakes a pass to Newbert. 12 to shoot now, gives off to Cade once again. Turns, he'll drive to the baseline right. Cade cut off by Crawford. Pass up top, intercepted by Gilliland on the deflection. Up the floor to List, who outruns everybody, but he biffs the right-hand layup as he laid it in right off the underneath side of the rim. Owen near side of the floor. Taylor with the ball, leading 85-58. Hester around the Pena screen, back to CJ, and to Owen left side high. Huffer to the near side corner, and Newbert. Double team comes, and List will tie him up, and the ball will stay here on the alternating possession. First tie-up of the night 15 to shoot for the Trojans as CJ will deal, or make it Keegan Owen will deal it in baseline left. Trojans lead by 27. They've led by as many as 32. Owen, near corner, almost crossed over himself. Dribbles to the free throw line with 9. Newbert with 8. Back to Owen with 7. He'll uncork a deep 3-ball and swish it from straight away. A triple for Keegan Owen, his second triple of his college career, and Taylor goes back in front by 30, 88-58. Crawford was the answer with a 3, straight on. That one short, and Pena has another rebound for Taylor. That is CJ's 6th to go along with his career high, tying 11 points. Owen spins away from trouble, dishes it down to Pena, and now CJ has got a new career high on a whirling dish from Keegan Owen. 13 for Pena. And now Newbert almost poked it away from Crawford. Taylor up 90-58. 1:05 to go second half. Newbert slaps the entry pass away, and it goes off the hands of Gilliland and back to Taylor. Newbert fronts the post, smacks the pass away, and now he'll deal it in with 1:02 to go in the second half. Taylor will win their 4th straight game and also hold their 4th straight opponent below 70 points, as they're up 90-58 right here with 55 seconds left to go in regulation. Owen, driving to his left from the high left side, floats and banks it in, 5 in a row for Keegan Owen. 92-58, the Taylor lead. 44 seconds remaining as Crawford will jog it to the front court. Hester waits for him. Crawford, the 6'1 junior out of Augusta, Kentucky, just dribbling time away here, with his team down 34. Crawford will look to take it himself. Shot clock to 8. Pena switches to guard him. Near side Browning over the jumping Luke Huffer, an air ball. Rebounded down low by Cooper. He'll miss, and there's another rebound for CJ Pena, his 7th. Hester dribbles to the front court. He'll hit the brakes with 14 seconds left, and Taylor will dribble out the final seconds here. They will improve to 8-8 on the year, win their 4th straight game, and move to 6-3 here at home. And they'll be able to enjoy their Christmas holiday very well. Taylor wins their 4th straight game, defeating Kentucky Christian tonight by a final of 92-58. We'll be back to wrap things up and take a look ahead and look back at this game on the Ivanhoe's Postgame Show after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on Scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You got to have the music that you listeners listen to.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
This is the Ivanhoe's postgame show. We're back here inside Odell Arena as Taylor wins their fourth straight game, holding all four opponents below 70 points. And they held Kentucky Christian to 58 points tonight. That ties a season low in points allowed this season for the Trojans. They win going away tonight by a 92-58 final. They led by as many as 34, and for the second game in a row, they also lead and win wire to wire. Taylor led 45-29 to start at halftime. Then they saw their lead dwindle down to 49-21, getting outscored 12-4 during that stretch. The media timeout hit at 15:49. After that, Taylor went on a 30-8 run and put the game out of reach. The Trojans shot 56% from the floor in the second half. They finished at 51% for the game. They made just 9 of their 27 threes to finish at 33%. They went to the line 8 times and made 7 of them. That breaks a streak of at least 21 free throw tries a game coming in the last 3 games before that. Again, they finished with just 8 tonight, but they made all but 1. For Kentucky Christian, they shot 36% from the floor. They were 8 of 22 from 3, and they also missed just 1 free throw, and they went 6 of 7. Rebounding battle, Taylor wins that tonight, going away by 10, 44-34, including 12-8 on the offensive glass. And Taylor also had the advantage in second chance points, 11-8. The Trojans played everybody that dressed tonight. They missed Emmanuel Boatin for another game this season, but everybody played. And so the Trojans had 5 get to double figures. They were led in scoring by their leading scorer this season, Ryan Robinson, who had 20 points. He had 11 in the first half. Ryan was 7 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 6 from 3. He was a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. He also had 4 rebounds. Evan Crow had a season-high 15 points off the Taylor bench. He was 5 of 12 from the floor, but 4 of 9 from 3, and he was 1 of 1 from the line. Mason Degenkolb had 13 points, not shoot it particularly well at 5 of 12 and 1 of 4 from 3, but he affected the game in other ways, almost achieving a triple-double tonight. CJ Pena had a career-high 13 points on 6 of 8 shooting. His only 2 misses were from three-point range when he went 1 of 3. Other double-figure scores tonight, James McLeod had 10 points, 8 in the first half, and James played beautifully throughout the evening, had 10 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Other scorers for the Trojans, Jason Hubbard and Jake Hageland each had 6. Keegan Owen had 5 there late in the contest, coming off the Taylor bench. Vincent Miranda had 4. And playing but not scoring for the Trojans, Bailey Hester, Luke Huffer, and Cade Newbert. For Kentucky Christian, they only dressed 9 players. All 9 played, and they had 2 get to double digits. Owens Crawford led the way with a season-high tying 21 points on 8 of 13 shooting. He was 3 of 6 from downtown and 2 of 2 from the line. Their only other double-figure scorer was Connor Maddox. He had 10 points off their bench. He was 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. The leading story tonight for Kentucky Christian was their leading scorer, Austin Robinson. Played just 12 minutes and 13 seconds tonight. He only played 4 minutes and some change in the first half. After picking up 2 quick fouls, he finished with just 4 points, 2 of 6 from the field, and again, just over 12 minutes on the floor tonight. Kyle Browning had 6 points. Cole Gilliard had 8. Travis Weaver also had 6 for Kentucky Christian. Michael Cooper 1. Nicholas Smith none. And Ethan List with 2. The Trojans had 3 guys have at least 6 rebounds. Mason Degenkolb had a career-high tying 8. C.J. Pena had 7, and James McLeod had 6. The Trojans also assisted on 21 of their 38 field goals, led by a career-high 7 for Mason Degenkolb and 6 assists from Ryan Robinson. The Taylor Trojans turned it over just 6 times tonight. They had just 1 turnover at halftime. They had 4 blocks, 7 steals. And we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, and a special guest here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back here inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnson, the head coach Josh Andrews, and a special guest. Who is this?
This is Miss Ava. Right? Isn't that your name? Yeah, this is Ava. She's 7, and she wanted to hang out up here tonight after the big win.
She kind of runs the show at the house, right? That's what I've been told.
She does. She's one of several, but she might be in the lead. Yeah.
She's got the basketball earrings on tonight. She's good to go.
Yeah, she's a good cheerleader, right? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your team tonight. You guys win your 4th game in a row. You win 92-58. You had 5 get to double figures. Why were you guys so successful tonight offensively?
You know what? I just thought our guys were locked in. I thought they played hard. You know, I thanked them, and I told them how proud I was. It's just not easy. A lot of these guys play in big high school programs, whole deal. Holiday games, you know, small college basketball. It's not a raucous arena. You're playing for all the right reasons, which I appreciate. You know, it's a maturity thing. And great response. You know, we didn't quite feel like that Tuesday. And tonight I thought our guys, they were locked in and they competed. The telltale stat for our staff is we had 6 turnovers. And you know when our guys are locked in because they take good care of the basketball. And I'm just really proud of them. And then that just transferred to finding good shots and 21 assists and guys shooting it in. just an okay clip and made him successful.
Mason almost messes around and gets a triple-double. He had 13 points, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he ties a career high with 8 rebounds. He sets a career high with 7 assists.
Yeah.
He and Ryan have been jostling back and forth to be your leader in assists this year, but Mason's taking this whole dishing the ball out to a whole nother level when maybe he's not getting the same shots we saw him get 2 years ago because there are more weapons here, but he's now finding those weapons, being a really great facilitator.
He's played so balanced, and I've told you this, I've praised him because he's defending one of the top 2 guards on the other team, and conditioned enough and tough enough to go to the other end and make a lot of the right plays. They're not going to be perfect, but he's on the other end. Dishing and finding teammates makes you fun to play with and making good plays, so he accounted for a lot of our scoring. And then good to see him on the glass. Good athlete, he's got good instincts. So fun night for him, and he was really important for our team tonight.
Bright spot for your team in that first half. James McLeod, 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. He finishes with 10 points and 6 rebounds. You and I kind of talked earlier about who can be that third scorer for your team consistently, but it's always good when James gives you a nice offensive punch, and he played some really tough defense tonight too.
Yeah, and we're okay if it's scoring by committee. It came out that way a little bit tonight, and we just got a lot of guys that can do a lot of damage, and if we'll make the right play, there just almost is a spirit behind that, just looking to make the right play. You make the right play and you got your mind right, your game ends up being right. It just comes around, that old basketball axiom, and our guys are in a good position that way right now. We want to get good rest with much-needed break for our group to get good rest and to come back and ready to make a push in this second half of the year.
You got a season-high scoring total of 15 points from Evan Crow tonight. He was 4 of 9 from 3. He scored 9 in a row, hit 3 threes in a row at one point. He really kind of seemed to get his shooting touch back tonight. He's obviously had some struggles to start the year trying to find his legs, but he's kind of shown some glimpses through the last couple weeks. You guys go on break. Not a bad way to send it off with him going for 15 tonight, right?
Such a good player, tough kid. What a great senior. What a great leader. Great to see him shoot it in, and he's got we just expect him to play well down the stretch of the year, and we're going to fight for him, and he's going to continue to battle and does great things for us. So that's no surprise. He's shooting it like that. You get him open shots, so we got to fight to do that, and proud of Evan Crow.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Make sure to go get everything for Ava here because she was the good luck charm tonight.
That's right. No, Merry Christmas to you guys. We appreciate the coverage, and we'll be excited to get back in the gym.
Ava, let's talk later. If you need anything for Christmas, you let me know, okay? We'll talk.
Sound good? Say thanks. Say Merry Christmas.
All right, that's Josh Andrews and Ava Andrews joining us tonight. We'll see them after the holiday break. We're back to wrap it up after this.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back here for the final time in 2018, as we won't be back on the air until January 2nd of 2019, where the Taylor men's basketball team takes on Judson. They win their 4th game in a row tonight, defeating Kentucky Christian by a final of 92-58. They were never tied. They never trailed. And they had a lead as big as 34 points. Our player of the game tonight, we'll give it to Mason Degenkolb and Evan Crow. Mason flirted with a triple-double tonight, 13 points, a career-high tying 8 rebounds, and a career-high setting 7 assists. And Evan Crow had 15 points for the Trojans, including 9 in the second half, all in a row, and all on 3-point baskets. So the Taylor Trojans finished the 2018 portion of their schedule with an 8-8 overall record. They're 6-3 here at home. They'll wrap up the non-conference portion of their schedule on January 2nd when they take on Judson here inside Odell Arena. And then we'll have the doubleheader for the men's and women's basketball teams when they take on St. Francis coming up on Saturday, January 5th. Special thanks to camera operator Ethan McGarvey and our producer Zach Newcomer. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Cameron Andry. We wish you folks a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We won't talk to you, as we mentioned, until January 2nd, 2019. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year with you and your family. And we'll see everyone back here on January 2nd. Once again, our final score tonight from here inside Odell Arena. Taylor wins their 4th game in a row, defeating Kentucky Christian by a final of 92-58 to move to 8-8 on the season. This has been a presentation of Taylor men's basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. Good night, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year from Upland, Indiana.